And also, we have May the 4th be with you. We got stuff that we need to talk about, Chaz. Welcome, Chaz, as always. How are you?
I am well. It is Friday. It is the day after Cinco de Mayo. No, it's the 6th. Today's the 7th.
Cinco de Siete.
Yep, that's the 7th.
Mm-hmm. Well, how was your week? What were you doing? Did you celebrate any of the festivities of things?
No. I ordered Mexican food on the 5th.
Okay.
And they gave me 2 orders of what I ordered. So I got free food.
You have issues with ordering online. You should just stop doing that.
I agree.
You get other people's orders. You get all kinds of stuff.
I know. First Wendy's and now this place, which is really good, by the way. But I had no complaints. It's just 2 days of Mexican food with chips and stuff.
Oh, God. Well, we could talk more about what your food orders was, but I'd rather know something else.
What's up?
Yes, it's our new segment. What are you geeking about? Chaz, I have to ask you, what are you geeking about?
You know what really geeks me out?
What?
I actually don't know, dude. I haven't really been paying attention.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You never prep anything. Look at all the shit I prepped.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
And we were just talking about not swearing. We were just talking about.
We haven't sworn yet. We haven't sworn.
I said shit.
That's not swearing, dude. That's poop.
Oh, you're just poop.
It could have been worse. Here's the thing, Patrick.
Do you already have a comment? Emily's in the building. What's up, Emily?
Here's the thing, Patrick. I've been geeking about lately Viking stuff.
Viking stuff. Okay. Like the Viking show?
Viking
or like
show,
history?
The Vikings Assassin's Creed game. I'm playing God of War right now. So it's been very pagan-based lore kind of stuff. So that's what I've been geeking about. What about you?
Well, tell me about it.
Well,
what's the geekiest thing you learned about it?
So when Vikings, here's the thing. I got really curious about the language that they were speaking in the show because like the show was switched from like subtitles to not subtitles, right? And it's because the different cultures of like the Nordic dudes and the English dude, whatever. But the English people would still have subtitles too. And I'm like, why would they put subtitles on them? Shouldn't we know what that is? But they speak Old English. And there's different levels of Old English. And some of the words you can kind of like pick out with like the root, kind of like with like Spanish or French, like there's like the root Latin-based words and stuff. And the it's just I thought it was really cool. So
nice.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been geeking about, this is gonna sound messed up, but I kind of like murder. I don't know the best way to put this. So there's this Netflix series that's out right now. I don't remember what it's called. It's about the 44 millimeter killer. Have you ever heard about him in New York?
No, tell me about him.
Okay, so the story so far, I've not finished it, is police are investigating a serial killer who's going around and killing all these people. The guy kind of willingly gives himself up in a weird way, but he was very like cunning in a Zodiac type way. So New York was really freaked out, much like what people were like over in California for Zodiac. But what they come to find out is that when the police closed the case and thought it was just him, it could be a whole cult. Like an entire cult that were doing sacrifices and stuff and killing multiple people. It's an insane roller coaster. And I geek out about that stuff for multiple reasons. I think, number one, because I'm terrified of death and I don't want to die.
Okay.
So it makes me feel good to watch this. I don't know why. I think if anybody else feels the same way, comment. But I don't know. Does that make me a weird guy?
Well, did you watch the documentary on Netflix? It's called Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched that too, by the way.
Richard Ramirez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he's like hell Satan.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's got the worst set of teeth too.
Yeah.
That guy's ugly.
And you know what? Groupies were going after him. Like a lot of like hardcore fans.
That's kind of the weird thing. Like watching Love After Lockup, which I could geek about Love After Lockup for forever. You see a lot of people, their intentions to be with an inmate or somebody, sometimes it's a power struggle. like they're like, I want to hold the fact that I have money over you and I got you out, so like you're mine forever. There's weird power struggles like that. Or it's girls that are like, I'm gonna trap him and have his baby, and then he's gonna be stuck with me, and hopefully he'll change for the better. Love After Lockup. It's good.
So basically lots of daddy issues.
A little bit, yeah. Some. Speaking of daddy issues, we need to get into Invincible, but that's going to be a little bit later. But for now, let's go ahead and first tell everybody, check out gaggleofgeekshow@gmail.com if you want to tell us what you're geeking about. Give us recommendations. Give us cool things that you want us to check out and what you want others to check out, because we want everyone here to just be that weird community of geeks spreading the sweat. I don't know. Let's move over to the May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th. So, did you celebrate, Chaz?
I watched The Last Jedi.
Just you suck.
No, dude. Here's the thing. It's my second favorite.
You ever get a cut to a wide shot of us?
I have been.
When? Oh, now. There it is. By the way, in case people weren't wondering, this is we've not addressed it.
We haven't.
Because I forgot mainly, but I've been terrified watching you.
Why?
Because I don't know what you're gonna do. You having the buttons and having control freaks me out. I don't like it. Don't look at the camera like that.
No. So as I was saying though, I watched The Last Jedi, which is my second favorite one. Empire Strikes Back is my first, but I was trying to purposely argue with other Star Wars fans because The Last Jedi seems to be the most divisive, right?
Seems to be.
And so I was trying to argue with people who hate it. And then I realized something, Patrick.
Oh boy.
Shut your mouth. I've had enough of you and me.
That's all that happens. Whenever you get in infighting and picking with people like that.
Now, here's what I realized. Those arguments are 4 years old.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why we're still Batman v Superman, The Last Jedi. Those two things happened around the same time, right?
Batman versus Superman?
It was 2016, 2018 was Last Jedi?
2018 was Last Jedi, yeah.
2018 was Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, here's my theory, and this might get us in trouble. This all happened during a politically divisive season as well, correct? Both these movies. They came out during politically divisive seasons.
Yes.
Especially when it came to what one side would deem as progressivism and one side would deem as like the counter cancel culture or shoving stuff down my throats and that kind of stuff. I think that bled into movies. And I think Batman v Superman was the first one. And I think The Last Jedi went from there.
So was BVS, was that the cancel one or?
Well, BVS, first of all, the story was just incoherent and crazy. Like it took a long time for people to get the ultimate cut and be like, oh, that's what he was talking. Okay, that's where we were.
Right.
But with The Last Jedi, it was its own cohesive thing. It was out there ready to go. So Warner Brothers and all that stuff, it's a whole minefield of stuff. Maybe only with The Last Jedi, I mean. But the discourse, it changed. There's no arguing that.
But do you feel
the
like
discourse has gotten way more heated?
Yes, it has been. Here's the thing, too. I think Star Wars was the start.
I want to talk about murder. No, get out of Star Wars.
What?
I don't want to talk about Star Wars anymore. Oh, yeah, it's May the 4th. Whoops.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoops.
No, here's the thing, though. I feel like Star Wars was the start of like the toxic fandom, like when we actually really saw it surface, like to that level. Now we're actually seeing it with DC and Marvel, and now it's just like anything that has a huge fandom like that is considered toxic.
Well, I want to talk about the fun stuff that I did because you were just a piece of shit to everybody.
What's the fun stuff you did?
My God, he's sitting here being a jerk to people, and I'm like,
that no.
I want the stuff. I'm watching the stuff.
I'm feeling it. Ooh, that's some good.
Absolutely.
So what's the movie you start with to celebrate?
So I always start with I watched the original trilogy. The original trilogy.
On VHS?
The unaltered original trilogy.
How do you watch it on
VHS, good friend.
You actually have VHS?
I watch them.
Are you serious?
I watch the OG because I want to watch the original stuff, and I don't want to get bogged down by the crazy, did Han shoot first, and Darth Vader actually saying no at the end. Look, I love George Lucas for what he did with the special editions for certain stuff. Like Cloud City looks amazing in the special edition. They added more stuff to look like a skylight. There was views. There's windows. There's tons of stuff with that. Or like little more special effects when it came to the X-Wings during the space fights and stuff. Looked much better. Him bringing in the weird stepping on Jabba's tail. That was weird in A New Hope. Or
I don't remember that at all.
It's originally a deleted scene from A New Hope. They have a guy that's dressed up in like basically he's like a bear catcher from the West in North America in the old days or something, but it's Jabba the Hutt. But they have an actual human being that plays Jabba the Hutt, and he's having a conversation with Han. What they did is digitally put in actual slug Jabba and then added that into the now canon version of A New Hope.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, you don't know your shit about Star Wars. But anyway, so I start with A New Hope. I do think that there could be. Oh, first, Alan's got a question. What is up, Alan? Question: did Natalie watch the original Star Wars trilogy with me? She did. She watched Return of the Jedi with me.
That's like the worst one of the originals.
Shut your fucking mouth! Damn it! Oh. Well, we hit 12 minutes at least.
We did, yeah.
We hit 12 minutes, but don't do that again. I don't know these people. I love all these new people that are here. However, we could offend everybody. And I have something that I want to give at the end of the show to you, my friend. And if we don't have them sticking until the end of the show, it's all for nothing. And I worked very hard on it.
You've been teasing this.
I haven't teased anything yet.
No. You've teased it. You've teased it. Okay.
I'm gonna tease them more.
But because like earlier today, you're like, just you wait. You have no idea what's in store.
Look, we lost someone.
What?
Look what you did.
God damn it.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Anyway,
okay.
I went to A New Hope. Then I moved to Empire Strikes Back. I love both of them. Return of the Jedi is my favorite because I love the conclusivity of it. I love how they were able to really like make the relationship between Vader and Luke Skywalker pay off. Like they pay off everything that was built up with The New Hope, with Empire Strikes Back, and you get to see the redemption of a character that was irredeemable from the start. That's crazy that they were able to build that arc. And I don't know, dude, there's a lot that happens when you're a kid and you come from like a broken home or like a divorced home.
Right.
And you look at stuff like there's certain aspects, especially living in Utah, and you're maybe have one like parent that doesn't end up being a part of the church, one parent being a part of it. How do they navigate like what you do and how their responsibility and what they're reflecting, So there's a lot of times where you're like, my dad's on the dark side and my mom's on the dark side because, they're not doing the thing that you think they should be doing.
Right.
And so there's a lot of like, and I also, abusive home on one side at least. So there's tons of stuff when it comes to like, you want redemption with your parents. You want redemption with the person that you find good in or that you want to see good in, but maybe it's not there. But Star Wars does a huge impact on a kid like that.
I can see that. For me, if I hadn't seen the prequels, I wouldn't have got that whole redemption arc. Like it would have felt very forced. But I think the prequels added more.
I like
to
them.
I do too.
Except for 2.
Revenge of the Sith, though, is probably my third most watched Star Wars.
I shouldn't have that up anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch anything on Revenge of the Fifth? That's prequel time.
I watched something. What did I watch?
I did watch The Last Jedi. I should have mentioned that. I did watch it. I like it.
I like it too.
I hate one particular. It's my bottom. And I think we all know what it is. It's the one that got me and him together. But no, I hate it. And I'm going to cherish that hate for a very long time.
That's okay.
Ooh. Well, here's the thing. There's so many good aspects, Play to Win, about Attack of the Clones. Like Jango Fett, right? Amazing.
The whole third
Jango
act
Fett's
for
awesome.
me is fun.
Everything involving Obi-Wan and Anakin, like the Obi shenanigans,
Yeah.
I'll call them that.
Okay.
All the stuff that they go into, it's fun. And I can't deny that Natalie Portman was a big part of my sexual awakening,
Right.
when you're a kid. When in
Right.
Rome.
But
There's a lot of kid talk today.
Here's the thing. I saw
That sounds weird.
That's weird. I saw that in the movie theater, in the lightsaber fight with Yoda and
that was
Count
great.
Dooku, dude. That was awesome. Like the whole last half, right? But then when you're young like that, you don't realize how rapey Anakin sounds throughout the whole thing.
Well, it's not rapey. It's incel-y. I've never known how to talk to a woman. So here's my attempt. And it just comes off horrible.
It comes off really
and
horrible.
It's George Lucas, who is, I think, going in through a divorce at this point, trying to write love dialogue. Like, that's sad. That's rough to do. That's tough.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's our coverage of this. Let us know what you did on May the 4th or Revenge of the 5th. I hope you guys had fun doing your Star Wars stuff. If you did cosplayer things, let us know what you did with those. I know a lot of people are dressing up, getting like, I was watching on Instagram, tons of people that we follow were doing that.
I want the lightsaber for Kylo Ren, to be hanging on my wall. Like, I think he has the coolest looking lightsaber next to Darth Maul.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's also true. Every time we watch a movie from a childhood, I explain how an actress was part of my sexual awakening. I can't believe she blocked who she was. It's crazy. We know who she is, but she's choosing to be anonymous. That's insane. All right.
I see how it is.
I don't know. Let's move over to, I guess, our next topic let's get down to a little bit of merch. Let's do a quick ad for all right. So, oh God, what?
Better buy some merch.
Oh, we're threatening you.
No, there's no threatening.
Buy merch.
Just buy merch.
You think that you're going to listen to this episode without buying merch?
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Dude, merch. Gaggle of Geeks.
Dad, do it again. Touch your chest. Buy that merch.
Gaggle of Geeks.
This is better at Oh, man. Buy that merch. We're back. Oh, and you got the shirt again. We got different coloring in the room. We actually have better light.
Ow.
Jesus, dude. Relax.
I'm a giant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Do we need to do the thing? You're going to get cut off if you stand up.
No, we don't. We'll just say that I'm a giant.
But I love showing people our height difference.
Do you?
Yeah. For the folks at home, let's show. Stand. Oh, and I unplugged my thing.
Dude, look how much taller I am than you.
If we were to fight, though, I'm just kidding. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, you completely eclipsed. We are Han and Chewbacca when you break it down. And I don't want you to take offense to that.
I take no offense to that, dude.
Don't. That means we're pals. We have a life debt to each other.
Chewbacca's lovable, you know? I'm a very lovable guy. Are you Chewbacca in this sense?
No, you're way taller. It's the height difference.
How old?
We could be anybody. Jay and Silent Bob, R2D2, C3PO.
How old would Chewbacca be to be your height?
How old would what?
Yeah.
2.
Like when he was
2 years old, Chaz. Okay. Let's get into our next segment, which we were going to be talking about Invincible for a minute. You've watched all of Invincible, correct?
Sure have.
You have.
Yep.
And you gave me something that already we're going to start negative again on Invincible. But first, we need to put in a spoiler word. Spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about spoilers for Invincible. So if you haven't seen it or you don't want to be spoiled, hop off. If you do want, stick around, make sure to watch it. It's super good. And there's comics out there. So I suppose it's not like a huge spoiler. There's some things that I've heard or changed. But before we get into it, one thing that's really taken off and that has been a huge thing with Twitter is this meme going around at the end of Invincible when Omega Man is crouching over Invincible and he's kind of doing a weird pose like this and like he's got both his arms like that. The internet has taken it by storm, have been putting on different cut to yourself if you're laughing. You see, it's difficult, isn't it? It's a little tough.
No, but dude, that was like screen worthy, you know? Like
I know, but it needs to cut to your reaction too, you son of a bitch.
I'm laughing.
Asshole. But anyway, with that being said, I gathered everything on the internet that I could find as far as like different memes or swapping in different characters for this. So without further ado, let's cut to it. When did this happen? All right. Well, suddenly we have a mustachio gentleman ready to talk about Invincible. So, Omega Man, you already don't like it. You already have issues with this.
What?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, I didn't like it. Okay,
Why didn't you like it? What is your issue first?
Fine.
What are your issues first? I hope you have something in your mind to give me on why you didn't like what I think is the best animated part of this year.
First and foremost, let me be clear. I am burned out from superhero stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched this with a bias with that in mind, okay?
Okay.
Second of all, the one thing that bugged me was how slow it was because it didn't get interesting till like halfway through the season.
I don't think so.
Dude.
Keep going. I'm going to research stuff. Hold on.
Here's the thing. And it felt like from the very first episode, it was trying to be like The Boys, and I haven't read the comics, but The Boys is also based off comic book, right? And I'm like, why does every superhero show now have to be like ultra violent for the sake of being ultra violent, you know?
Okay. Here's the thing. First of all,
I hate saying that because I love horror and I love gore. So,
you know who this is coming from, right?
Robert Kirkman,
who created
Walking Dead.
Yes. So inherently that's going to make it violent. You can concede to that.
Yes, and
very violent. And that the violence is intense and like shocking. Anytime there's a death in Walking Dead, it's shocking. And it's usually character driven that makes it more shocking.
But was this character driven?
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the first episode. So it starts pretty simple. It's basically Omega Man. What is it? Omni-Man.
Omni-Man. I think it's Omni-Man.
Yeah. So he has a son and is part of like a Justice League. He's basically a Superman in this world. Basically mustachioed Superman, which I thought was hilarious.
And who is he played by?
J.K. Simmons. He's so good. I wish we had a sound effect for J.K. Simmons, but I'll just do this.
Honka, honka.
Dude, that's Jim Carrey.
That's what I think of when I look at you.
Honka, honka.
With that mustache.
Oh.
But anyway, actually, it's a little bit more. The first part sounds weird. I need to cut that.
You do.
I need to cut that a little bit.
I'm surprised it's staying on, dude. I thought it was going to fall off.
I'm excited. It's cool. I've been very excited.
My mustache hair is blonde, so this is exciting. Anyways, what were you saying?
So let's talk about the cast first of all. Stephen Yeun, J.K. Simmons. We have heavy hitters, dude.
Those are the only
Sandra Oh from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh.
Seth Rogen. Here, I'm going to pull up more. Talk more about the first episode.
I actually didn't know Seth Rogen was in this until the last episode. Like, it was at their last conversation that they were having as characters. I'm like, oh, that sounds very familiar.
Zazie Beetz, Walter Goggins, Jillian Jacobs, Zachary Quinto. So many people. A lot, like some people. Mark
Clancy
Hamill's
Brown.
in it.
Wait, what?
Mahershala Ali's in it. There's so many people involved in this. So in this world, it's like a parallel universe. You have your seven, like from The Boys. What are these? The Globe, the people of the Globe, or something
like that. Yeah.
Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Globe.
So because like there's different tiers, right? Like there's
here's the thing: when you binge in one day, you forget certain specifics, but you can visualize it and be like that thing. But it's tough to really describe it. The Guardians of the Globe, however,
okay.
It's basically your Batman, your Wonder Woman, your Aquaman. That's just a fish. And they're kind of exactly what you would think, right?
Yeah, I guess. But I think what threw me off the most, what's that TV show with the guy who has like the green hair and he was like a planet? Mr. Planet, is that his name?
Maybe.
That's what that reminded me of.
Captain
honestly.
Planet.
Yeah, Captain Planet. Yeah, that's the thing that reminded me of.
Okay.
I know.
How dare you? You're so antagonistic. Okay. Anyway, it turns out Steven Yeun, who plays Omni-Man's son, has
Mark.
superpowers. Does it later in life, and Omni-Man is like, "Well, I didn't expect this. Now I guess we're gonna have to start training you and stuff." And it's pretty uplifting. It feels positive. You have this really excellent scene where Omni-Man is describing how to fly that I loved. When he was talking about how it's like a muscle that you have to flex and release and that you have to keep the tension if you want to move a specific direction and the focus. It was really beautiful how they described that. I've never thought that the working mechanics of flight, like that makes no sense, could actually make sense.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay. You're going to be mean.
I'm not. When he's talking about flexing a muscle.
Oh my, no.
What
no.
muscle? What's the
No. The mustache got you dirty.
No, dude, I mean, serious. Is it like blowing air? That's what I'm talking about. Through whatever.
Anyway, so while they're doing this training and stuff, things are going well. Then you see a distress call has been given to the entire Guardians, and they have to go to their secret fortress or their lair. As they're in there, they're like, what's going on? Omni-Man shows up. A brutal slaughter. Like a brutal slaughter. Like my jaw dropped through that entire segment. Watching them like getting attacked the way that he took them out. And all of them are so super powered. He can take them out with no issue.
Dude, and it was an epilogue, right? Because like the title came on the screen, or not the title, like the created by whoever, right? And
each one has kind of a like post credit.
Yeah. And this was exactly that. And I'm like, oh, a teaser for the next episode. And then
it happened. You're like,
what
shit.
Yeah. I was actually messaging when I watched that. Yeah, that was a very surprising moment. Because here's the thing, dude. They put up a good fight. But he's OP.
He's OP. And I love that it's J.K. Simmons. Isn't he a great voice actor? Like, I love that he's getting more voice acting work. And he's been multiple characters in like Legend of Korra, I believe. And some other DC properties. Spider-Man, I think he's been J. Jonah Jameson in animated.
He's
got a great voice. He's so good. And again, I have to emphasize the writing and the voice acting in this is so strong that I don't get why you can't see past the superhero part. Because at the end of the day, when it's a good superhero, it's not even about superheroes, When it's a good superhero movie, it's not about superheroes.
Dude, this was exactly about superheroes, though.
Nah.
The whole season was about superheroes. It was about him trying to fit
in a sense, but it's about a
relationship
and an investigation, which gets headed up by this Hellboy-like character, who I thought was so cool. I loved him so much, right?
I know.
And he has to he has like a contract to be above Hell to like do these investigations and stuff. And then you have Walter Goggins, who's like S.H.I.E.L.D. essentially, like their main S.H.I.E.L.D. command. And he's watching everything. He's starting the investigation too, trying to figure out what happened to the Guardians because Omni-Man just passes out after he kills everybody. So everyone assumes somebody attacked the entire Guardians, not realizing it was Omni-Man that did it. And he's playing coy. Nobody even knows. What are you looking at?
Walter Goggins played the comb over looking.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He was really good in it too. The voice acting in this is incredible. You should have looked through some of this stuff. John Hamm is in it. Come on, man. Everybody.
Yeah.
In any case.
I just wanted to watch it to get over with because you told me to.
Yeah. Well, the big part of this now is like the family is kind of in a tough dynamic. The mom is suspicious because the Hellboy guy turns out to be able to give her some clues and hints throughout the season. And Steven Yeun's character getting training lessons from his father throughout, like learning life lessons. He's pretty tough on his son, like and almost like manipulative and narcissistic in a lot of ways towards him. The way that he tells him to treat humanity, the way that he's supposed to handle things.
It's because, we'll get to it, but at the end it's revealed why he's trying to make him his second in command.
Oh yeah. Well, the training is to bring him in, but you don't know the full intentions. You just know that he's training him. You don't know why he killed them. That's the big what that you find out later on. That's your mystery box, as J.J. Abrams would say. Another J.J. that's famous. JK, whoops. I'm doing good at the recap, man. I'm on a fucking roll. Let's keep going.
You are. I'm glad you
All
didn't
right.
ask me to start it off because I always screwed that up.
Yeah, well, I'm helping, Mustache Man.
Buy some
Caterpillar
fucking
mustache.
merch.
Get it? Why would you? We already did it.
I know.
They don't need to know that already. I'm sorry.
Dude, but imagine buy
He
some
gets
merch
control
from...
of the camera and he starts attacking everybody.
No. Imagine this from the Mustache Man from the show. You better buy some merch, son.
Omni-Man. However, so the investigation happens. There, you learn about the teen team, which is comprised of Jillian Jacobs' character. You have, if you watch Parks and Rec, Dennis Feinstein plays one of the characters as well. A couple other characters, and Stephen Yeun gets inducted into that group. And that's how he learns how to be a superhero and what to do. There's like invasions that are crazy. There's villains that are so interesting. There's one villain that's essentially a pair of two. And one keeps thinking that one is a clone and one is the original. Or they insist that they both are the original. Because this guy has a way to be able to clone himself, kill himself, clone himself again, keep doing that. He's got a replicating machine, which will play a big part into what happens later on. I forgot to mention Zachary Quinto is also a character in the teen team. He's basically a robot.
He reminded me a lot of Bender.
Basically a robot.
Basically, yeah.
When you find out what he is,
Dude, you know what he reminded me of? He actually reminded me of like when you find out what he is. The baby in Mad Max Fury Road, like one at the end, you know?
Oh my gosh.
That was
it. Reminded me of it kind of reminded me of Voldemort at Deathly Hallows Part 2 when he was underneath the subway. Just like a big, like if you shove steroids into that baby and it was like stuck in a glass face.
It was very incestuous looking.
Yikes. Yeah. Well, the thing that we needed to talk about the ethics of that whole situation, because holy crap, there's a Hulk. And we'll talk about her character too. There's a lot of characters that we talk about because essentially the teen team takes over as the Guardians of the Globe, and they have to bring in more people, induct more people. They bring in someone that used to be a member that now has abilities through an exosuit that he can do. He eventually gets his abilities back later on after getting beaten up, but they all kind of work together, but kind of don't. It's like the forming of a new Justice League after seeing a whole Justice League slaughtered, which, come on, man. That's awesome.
There's a lot of characters. And what's his face? The one who cheats on that girl.
Dennis Feinstein character. That's how I'm going to fire something. Here.
Fire Rod?
Rexplode. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah. Like, because like he becomes part of the new one, right?
Yeah.
And I hated him, dude. I thought he was so annoying. But then even he had his arc.
Do you know Andrew Reynolds?
No.
Okay, so he was in the Book of Mormon, the original Book of Mormon. In the Broadway show.
Never seen the Book of Mormon.
Well, he's very cool, and he's in it, and it makes me happy as well. Let's see. So anyway, we can kind of cut into from here that the mom's pretty much knows, right? I would equate the relationship to Omni-Man and the wife to Walter White and his wife.
Yeah,
and how it just completely breaks down. The fact that they're able to do this in one season, I have to applaud the writing, the character arcs, the building of this world. It all worked so well. It worked so well for me. I felt every moment. And the fact that she was able to catch on to him after a minute, and from there, basically, she's like, "You stay away from me," right? She doesn't really play a victim either. She's a pretty well-developed character.
I was expecting her to have her own superpower, hidden power too.
No, well, when they explain what happens, that doesn't make a lot of sense, right?
But dude, imagine if he had his dad's powers, okay?
He does.
Right. Plus his mom's powers.
His mom doesn't have powers, though.
That we know of.
No, she doesn't have powers.
Watch her have powers next season.
Okay, all right, you're calling that up. So anyway, once she starts to figure it out, she has to protect the son. The son is, I think I'm skipping so much stuff. The teen team has so many things that happen in between all of this stuff during the second to third part of the season.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of stuff that happens. I guess what we should talk about is this mini Hulk character and the robot character. We need to talk about this relationship.
It's
because
creepy.
I have questions. I don't know what I'm watching, and I'm weirded out.
Were you for it though? Like once it kind of
That's-
connected, were you for it or were you against it?
We live in a society.
I
Oh,
have
God.
no idea, dude. That's all I could think of. I had no idea. Maybe a little bit of that too. I'm just kidding. No, but a little bit. It was crazy. It was a crazy sci-fi ex machina type thing. So let's bring this up. Zachary Quinto's character, who's the robot, turns out isn't necessarily just a robot. He's a floating, weird, adult, mangled man. Good way to describe him? Best way to describe him?
Yeah, he reminds me of a troll on the internet.
Oh, okay. Wow. Maybe we have trolls. And if so, welcome.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
That wasn't the one I wanted. So anyway, this guy decides that he wants to get the villain that does this cloning stuff to make a replication of some DNA that he gives him. You don't realize later on that it turns out to be Rexplode's DNA.
No, you do.
You don't realize until later on.
No, because he has a
'cause
scene
he
where he
takes it.
touches
Oh,
him
he
on the
takes it.
shoulder.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ow, why
Okay,
you pinch
gotcha.
me or whatever.
So he gets that, and he's using that to clone something, right? And he wants to transmit his brain into that. What he kind of has to acknowledge, though, is the fact that it's not necessarily like the cloning that you would expect, right? What's the catch with this, Chaz?
It's like Snoke.
Dude, come on, more.
That's what it is.
What do you mean? So, like, Palpatine's consciousness is put into another organism.
Yeah.
Okay. And that organism and its intelligence is so good that it will not be able to distinguish from the original, which is why that question will always be brought up. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you didn't think about this show being cool.
No, I was so blinded by the superhero.
What were you doing while you were watching this?
Watching the show?
Liar. I call your bluff, good sir. But anyway, so as they start to do all that stuff, they figure out Omni-Man is at least responsible for all of those deaths, but they can't do much with him, right? And as this is happening, they are working themselves on something where they're reanimating Goliath, I believe. No, let's make sure that we got the right person here.
Who's Goliath?
He's I don't think his name was Titan. He was one of the people from the original 7. I just want to make sure that I've got it right.
Oh,
I don't think I remember his
the
name,
guy who
though.
gets beheaded.
Yeah.
What was his name?
So his head's getting reattached to his body. And the minute he wakes up, he knows everything that's going on. And as he's doing this, Omni-Man is like trying to figure out how to explain this to his son. And it's pretty vulnerable. Like there's some vulnerable moments where Omni-Man is like talking to himself up in the sky, trying to figure out how he can tell his son exactly what we don't know yet. So we're still waiting to find out. Well, as he's doing that, he has to take out, I believe, this huge monster that the Nick Fury character, Walter Goggins, throws down because he wants them to start fighting. As he starts doing that and taking on that, Sandra Oh's character, the mom, is watching, and she's like, is that going to take him out? Hopefully. And Invincible shows up, and they start taking him on together. But as they're doing that, the head's getting stitched on that guy. He wakes up, he's like, and he like comes online, remembers everything, and just sprints.
What was that guy's name though? That's gonna bug me.
Mm-hmm. Anywho, they continue. He shows up. There's a huge fight between Omni-Man and him, and it's just brutal. Again, I love the violence in this. And I love the music that gets interspliced with the violence. Like the prison escape scene was one of my favorites because did you catch what music was being played and what movie it's from?
No.
So the music that was being played when the clones were escaping the prison, right?
Okay.
That was from Baby Driver, the Baby Driver soundtrack. It's Bell Bottoms and it's Run the Jewels who did a remix of it.
Dude, here's the thing.
And it was so good.
So
good.
One of my favorite things about this show is actually the music choice. And it reminded me a lot of Into the Spider-Verse.
I can see that.
Mixed in with like all the animation and cool kind of montages. You know, like I really liked that aspect.
Did you like the animation? You know what it reminded me of? Very like original Justice League or like original animated series kind of.
Yeah. It
like
reminded
very
me,
traditional.
It reminded me of like Batman Beyond of all things.
Something like that. I thought it was really well animated. And I love the way that, again, the violence, whenever it would start, it's like Dragon Ball Z epic.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I guess that's what also kind of threw me off though, because it felt so old school. I was expecting the animation to be smoother, if that makes sense.
I mean, I guess I can see that. It's tough with animation, right?
Yeah.
Because it could either enhance the story or hinder it. A lot of times, especially this year, I've watched a couple. Like there's one at Sundance that a lot of people liked called Crypto Zoo. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Oh, it gave me a migraine. And how can you like justifiably say go see this movie if you weren't feeling any symptoms before and suddenly get washed with a migraine while you're watching it, and it's because the stop motion, the style of it just didn't work for you? I think that is great, worthy to say if somebody has an issue with the animation style, but I don't think they will because it's so traditional.
Right. There's just a lot of respect with animation too, because I mean, it's like technically, I mean, it would be hand drawn back in the day, but now we have tablets and stuff. But yeah, I don't like this mustache, man.
How dare you? I love the mustache, caterpillar mustache, man.
You used to
Caterpillar
have one like
mustache.
this a couple of weeks ago.
I did used to have it. Mhm.
Why not anymore?
Well, I'm looking at one reason why I don't have it anymore.
But you have the face for a mustache.
How
I
dare
don't.
you.
That's why I have the full beard.
We don't know that for sure. You could shave it.
I'm not shaving.
Come on. Well, in any case, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Well, he's about to kill his son, and he's like, "Oop, I
Whoa,
can't do
whoa,
this."
fuck you, dude. You skipped so much.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I know.
Whoa.
It was literally, that's what literally happened.
Then he leaves Earth.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, were you talking about the last episode and all
I
that?
need to teach you how to make a meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to teach you how to make a meal.
Yeah.
So let's make a meal with this, right?
Okay.
So what we started with, they have this new guy that's taking him out. He rips him apart, right? Punches a hole straight through his heart. Just completely obliterates him. Now Stephen Yeun, Invincible, sees this and is like, I see now what my dad is. And it kind of cuts at that area. Like it stops there. That's when the last episode comes in and things get crazy.
I definitely skipped a lot then.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's so many great moments. You got to remember certain lines, man. Lines stuck with me. You didn't have any lines stick with you?
No.
Wow. Okay, I'll hit you with some knowledge. So anyway, he sees this happen. They're both up in the air. It's epic, dude. It's epic like Matrix Revolutions. There's rain hitting. They're just like shocked at each other. Omni-Man is about to try to explain, but before he can, Invincible just books it. He's like, no, dude, you're crazy. And he starts punching Omni-Man in the face. He's like, wake up. There's no way this is you. You aren't my dad. And he's like, nah, it's me. And like, he's just really the voice acting. Anyway.
Yeah. The whole episode was just fighting, honestly.
Mm-mm.
Yes, it was. It was all fighting, and then we see Invincible almost get his
You finally
ass
get
kicked.
the answer. You know why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, because he wants to rule the world.
No. So what it
Yes.
turns out to be, and we didn't tell this at the beginning, is the backstory of Omni-Man, right?
He destroys worlds.
Shut your fucking mouth. I'm going to say it.
Oh.
Okay. So he comes.
So aggressive, man.
Shut your
Okay.
Was I right? Hold on. Was I right?
No. He comes
Oh.
from the planet where essentially he deemed it as everybody was perfect, everybody was super, and they've already perfected everything. So there's no need to perfect anything else, right?
Right.
He was sent to scout out different areas, basically be Green Lantern in a sense, like a protector, right?
Right.
You put that back on your face.
It's on my face.
I'm not going to do it if you don't have it on your face. We'll stop it right now. I'll stop all of this.
Hold on. Continue your story.
No,
Continue your story.
put it back on.
It's on.
Good.
See, it's on.
Okay. So Turns out they weren't perfect. And in fact, there was like a gladiator battle that killed half of them and left the other half as like these just super gianted out soldiers. This is a militia planet, and they only serve to invade and turn their planets into what they deem as the perfected world and the perfected type, right? He is a head general that was sent on a special mission to different worlds to do this, and his assignment is Earth. So he had to be a part of it. He had to be inside, work with it. But the timetable sped up when Invincible got his powers. That's when he realized, oh, shoot, I don't know if I want to kill this kid. I have to take care of this, start training him, then tell him when the time is right. But obviously the timetable wasn't right. As he's telling Invincible this, Invincible's like, you're crazy, dude. You're insane. I don't know why. You're not my dad. And this is my world. I cannot believe that you're exactly the opposite of what I thought you were. You were a superhero in my eyes. You're the person I love. You're my father. You taught me everything I know. Now I have no idea who you are.
So he's gonna kill his own son? Like if he didn't get his powers,
he doesn't.
he's gonna
He wants
kill
to
him?
join him. The goal now is turn my son to join me. We both can shape this world. You're a super with me. There doesn't need to be any other supers. That's why I killed the Guardians of the Globe, because it's just me and you, son.
Dude, you know what that really is?
It's crazy.
That's a Vader.
It's Vader. It's General Zod, like a twisted General Zod. It's really intriguing, and it's fascinating to see the switch, because you saw so much heart, or at least a little bit of heart in Omni-Man, and now he's so cold. And that's, again, a tribute to the voice acting, the way that it just turns like that. Stephen Yeun cannot believe any of this. Invincible, they start fighting. He's like, I'm not going to turn. And he's like, well, I'm going to kick the shit out of you then. And just starts, he's like, you want to feel what actual pain is? Do you want to see me at full force, dude? And just starts beating the crap out of Invincible. And that's, yes, where there's a lot of punching and fighting. But it's not like it's not stylized and beautiful.
No, it's beautiful. And each episode progressively gets more violent too, which I thought was interesting. But Invincible also gets more injured each episode.
Yes.
And this
Every
one, I'm
time
like,
the title card comes up, some blood splatters on an already splattered sign.
yeah. And I was thinking, like, how else can he be more injured in this, right?
Oh, man,
dude,
it's so brutal.
Dude.
You look away. It's animated, but because you've got this creator that knows how to write this and knows how to direct something so brutal like this, and he wrote the comics as well. So he's the creator of this thing. He's beating the crap out of him. It's so epic. He ends up, they end up fighting on top of a mountain. And that's where that meme comes in, right? Where he's basically trying to knock sense finally into him.
What's that meme again?
It's where it's called the Think Mark Think meme.
Can you reenact it?
Think here. Think Mark Think. Like that. You know? It's like that.
Okay.
And so they do that. And he poses a very valid question. You're going to be living for forever. These people. And this is what really sets off Invincible. Before that sets off the fight, he tells him what he values his mom to be. He's like, your mom is like a pet more than anything. She's going to die off quickly because we last so long. You have no idea the abilities that you have. And he's like, you call her a pet? And just full Superman. Huge fight starts up, and then the mountain cuts to that. And he's like, after 500 years, when everything that you know, when everyone you love is dead, what will you have? After beating the shit out of him, and after Stephen Yeun is looking up at him, just pathetic. Like, when they punch, it seems like there's multiple times where I feel like there's a hole punch through them, and they cut down and it's just badly bruised. But that's how insane the punches are.
Dude, I actually liked that question, like, because it puts it in perspective. Like, if you live that long, all these people are going to seem like nothing. Like, it's going to seem like yesterday by the time they blink. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, what I loved most was the answer to this, which was, I'll have you, Dad. Dude, the writing in that is beautiful.
That breaks my heart.
It breaks your heart, because you see this manipulative father that's been doing nothing but training this kid to take over the world. And the minute that he's rejecting it, like, all he wants to do is just like get this kid on board so that he can save his life, right? But he's refusing to do it because what he values is just insects. He values is the closest things to him.
And
I love that.
Well, and that's when he's like, I can't kill you.
Oh, he's furious. He's like, why are you making me do this? He screams that at one point, and just blasts away off into space, far away. We have no idea where he is, right? Then eventually the people who've been kind of monitoring all of this going on, which, by the way, everyone in the world saw him rip through that superhero that reappeared again. So everybody knows Omni-Man is evil now. The entire world. There's no hiding it anymore, right? They pick up Invincible. They bring him to a hospital where his mom is. They're checking on his health and everything. The team are relatively still together, right? The Guardians of the Globe in that lair had left a huge splatter of blood on it as a reminder of what had happened to the original, right? And the big thing was, you can wipe this off when you've earned it. Well, Rex Blode shows up and starts trying to wipe it off. And as he's doing that, one of them says no, but the rest start wiping it down. And that kind of symbolizes their team finally, right? And you have the evolution of the characters, which we totally still skipped. Freaking the Hulk lady and the
I know.
robot
I was going to
lady,
ask you about that. Yeah.
So the Hulk lady, right? Her thing is she can be an incredible like monster, but anytime she does, she ages a little bit, Benjamin Button style. So eventually, if she's changing so often, she'll turn into a little tiny baby, which is super fascinating. Weird when a robot suddenly likes her, but I was cool when it was a robot because I was like, robot, you know,
It's like a father right
AI. I've seen her. I'm hip. I get it. I'm down with it. But then it revealed who he was, just a soggy, rough, old man, old white pudge man. And he turns into what would be, I guess, deemed more appropriate because he's a young version of Rex Blode. And now they have a relationship.
It's, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought he was going to put himself as like a normal human and be like a father figure to her.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
We live in a society.
I don't know how to address it. I don't really know. It was weird. Like it was a step further than I anticipated. I'm fascinated by it and I'm excited to see where they go with it. And it's a WandaVision type situation, but there's an aspect that I always get a little bit like, this feels weird.
So do you think Robot's good or bad? Because we thought he was bad for a while, and then we saw what his master plan was, right? So like, or is he like in the middle?
I think overall he was good. He didn't have that as his master plan. That plan happened once she joined the team, right? She wasn't always a part of that team. She came in through the tryouts.
Sure.
So that's where that connection started. So I think that's where I had the idea because they busted the people from there. But yeah, he blasts off into space. Invincible gets recovered. And this is where we didn't address also. One of the episodes, Invader from Outer Space shows up. They think it's a huge comet, but it's just Seth Rogen. And he's like, I've come to destroy you, Blurth. And he's like, that's not us. We're Earth, you idiot.
Yep.
He's like, oh, my bad.
And then he flies off and he comes back and he's like, they all gave me a lot of crap for that.
Mm-hmm. They all gave me a lot of crap for that. And by the way, I didn't warn you about this, but there's any references the type that this person is.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I know. It's my dad. He tells him the whole story. And he's like, they don't stop. He's going to come back. You need to be ready. And I'm going to he references a council that he's going to have to report back to you. Indication of season 2.
Dude, I loved how whenever they interact, they always just pull over like a moon rock because they meet on the moon of all places.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, it's like a campfire story of just old friends catching up.
I agree. Well, do you feel any better after recapping? I feel like I turn you a little bit to liking it or appreciating more after we do recaps.
Okay, so I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, which just is like, okay, I mean, that's fine. I'll bump that to like a 3.
A 3.
3 out of 5. I won't rewatch the first season likely, but I'll continue watching it still.
Okay.
But that's why I gave WandaVision 2, I think.
I think I'm going to go more. I think I'm going to go probably an 8 out of 10 or 7.5 maybe if season 2 ends up not really. But this was a really strong first season. I binged it like that in one night. I went straight through.
Now let me say something. Since this is
creepy mustache.
I know. Hey, I could be somebody's dad.
You could.
So
Well,
this is the comic book. This is based off a comic book, right?
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead was too. Walking Dead started out kind of strong. Now it's not strong.
Mm.
So if that's any indication of how this might go, sir, oof.
Well, I don't know. Amazon has an affinity for messing with Superman, and they had the audacity to actually give him a mustache in this, which I find hilarious to me. Definitely check out Invincible. I think it was a good show.
It's not bad.
I think it was good. And for animated, I love when animated movies are series and it's adult, or series or is an adult one. And they took this seriously. And yeah, let's keep going with what we have there. You know, I'm
nervous, dude.
Why?
You're getting all hyped right now.
Why am I getting? What are you? Cut to you. Just cut to you.
You're getting hyped.
You
right
nervous?
Now. No. It's
Don't
funny
be.
because last week you failed at pranking me.
Yes, I have tried multiple times to prank you. That is true.
Is this a prank? That's
No.
why I don't know. Like I don't know what you have up
Okay.
your sleeve.
I don't think this is a prank. This is so here's the thing. When I talked to Chaz about the episode idea, I told him he has to wear the mustache, right? And cut to it. It's beautiful. The mustache is great. And to commemorate, I I wrote you a song. Let's get out of here. We're gonna do this to end the show.
Oh God. Okay. So
And if everyone can please sing along, this it means a lot to me.
okay.
What?
The camera's on you now. So
Well, it's got to cut to you too.
I'll cut.
I
to me.
need your reactions and stuff. Let me pull up the lyrics here. Suddenly,
So did you write
so
this yourself?
nervous. Ooh, does that sound good?
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
I did. Okay.
I've never had anybody write a song about me.
Well, I did that.
Is this Taylor Swift? Like I'm breaking up with you because you're kind of a d-bag, or is this? No. Okay. I'm excited.
I don't have to do it. I
want you to do it.
The song is called "Creepy Caterpillar Mustache Face." I see Chaz sitting in a chair right there. I tell him, welcome to the show. But what's that sitting atop your lip? I'm gonna flip. He tells me, do I like it?
Do you like it?
I say, I like what? That creepy caterpillar mustache face. That creepy caterpillar mustache face. I know I said we try it, but I regret we shouldn't have done this. This was a big mistake.
This was your idea.
But I know it was my idea, but we tried. That creepy caterpillar mustache face. Cut wide, baby.
Dude.
Check out our shit.
How long did it take you to write that?
We got to end it.
How long did it take you to write that?
Thank you for joining.